Hi guys, I have made this video a couple of days ago, but I honestly I can't really remember what I said in it, and I feel like I have a different perspective now, now that a couple of days have passed, so I'm remaking it. It was gonna be like this big thing where I'm sitting on the couch, y'all watch me sitting on the couch, I have my mic and I'm just like and it probably still might end up like that. But I do want to see if I can make it condensed. Just gonna start now. So you guys are probably wondering, well, if you haven't watched my last Promised Land video, you're probably like, Sid, why are you back home? What's going on? And in my last Promised Land video, I talked about how I felt like I wasn't really meant to be there. There was a lot of other little things, but the big thing was just they were saying things that were going against what God has told me in the secret place. He told me a lot of stuff, and what they were saying, it just wasn't matching up with what God has told me in the secret place. So I was like, maybe I don't need to be here. So I left with that knowledge, and then I heard some other stuff after I left. So, and not blatantly, but if you put two and two together, that's what that means, So I learned a lot, but we're gonna get to that in a second. I want to go a little bit further. I want to talk about my childhood a little bit. If you guys haven't been on my TikTok and have watched my recent TikTok video, I think it's called Stop Playing and Just Do It, going on where people were saying Maddie knew who she was at an early age, and then they proceed to show who they were at an early age and how they basically knew exactly who they are. They knew it from a very early age and nobody could tell them differently. And I was saying how that's how I feel about my life when I was younger. I feel like I knew exactly what I wanted. I don't know if I knew exactly who I was, but I knew what I wanted. And it wasn't until I, started to get a little bit older, started to have, older people, miserable people, kids, teens, tweens, the world basically tell me, no, you don't want that. You actually want this. So I treated the things that I loved as a hobby for a long time, and for a while it was okay because it had to be a hobby. It couldn't really be the main thing, because I was in school, I was working, I was working in school, and I was doing a bunch of other little things at school, and so it kind of had to be a hobby. It couldn't really be the main thing, But now that I'm older and I technically don't have to be in somebody's school, it can be the main thing, but I haven't let it be the main thing. And camp honestly helped reveal that to me. I figured out that some higher people did not want me to be there. Not in a mean way, but they just kind of was just well, it's they didn't really care if I was there or not, I kind of look naked. Guys, I promise I'm not. When you put two and two together, it's oh, you don't even care if I'm here or not. I'm sitting here putting all of my time and energy. I'm far away from home. I'm far away from people that I care for, that I love dearly, to work for you, and you don't even care if I'm here. That took me aback a little bit. That's the second main thing that I learned from camp. I'm not gonna sit here and discuss everything that I learned from camp, but that was one of the big things that's wow, you could really give your time and energy to a place and they wouldn't care if you were there or not. And I was thinking, okay, well, why don't I just put that time and energy to myself? And then it got even deeper when I was talking about knowing who I am at a very early age. I've always known what I want to do, but because of, and I'm using backlash very loosely, but because of the backlash from other peers, from older people, from people that I used to look up to, they in a bunch of ways would tell me, no, that's not a good idea. That's not, oh, well, look at everything that you lack. How do you expect to be in this field when you lack all of these qualities or you lack all of these things? And it was masked as concern. I'm just gonna leave it at that. So realizing that I can put my time and energy into something and not get anything from it, or put my time and energy into a business or into a company where they don't even care if I'm there or not. Why don't I just put that into myself? I know what I want. Let's stop pretending like we don't know. And I think the reason why I pretended was because of the backlash. I'll sit there and say, no, this is what I want, and then somebody will come along and tell me, no, that's not what you want. And it's so silly, because it's like, first of all, who are you to tell me what I want? You're not God. You are like you cannot, like, how are you going to tell me what I want? And but people would just come along and be like, no, you don't want that because X, Y, and Z. And I think the best definition to use for this is dogma, I think, where people will have a belief and force that belief onto you. I think that was what was going on at that time in my life, but now I don't have that anymore. But because it's been so in my brain, it's been like hard hitting for years. I've been in friendships where I don't really know if most of them liked me, but we were rocking with each other because that's all that each other had, or forcing myself in rooms that I didn't want to be in. Like, I'm older now, I don't have to do those things anymore. So 2 things came into mind when I said, okay, well, why don't I just put all this time and effort and energy into the things that I want, and especially if I know what I've been wanting since I was a little girl. And so I'm like, why don't I do that? One is because I let people's fears and limiting beliefs rub off on me, and the same, like the word that I said earlier, dogma, I let their dogma affect me and my beliefs in myself and my abilities. 2, I've been trying to live this normal life, if that makes sense. You get out of high school, you go to college, you get a job, and then you work and work and work and work and work until you have enough to retire. Like, that's the whole pipeline. And I've been trying to do this pipeline for a couple of years now, and it's been draining and it's been bad, and I feel like I've just been pretending with everybody that I care about. I may convey those dreams, but I may not go in extensive detail on how I'm going to achieve it. Like, for example, my dad was like, I think you should go back to school. Because the reason why I left school, it wasn't because of me, it was because of financial reasons. But it's been kind of like a tender wound every time when I think about school. And so he was like, I think you should try school again. I was like, I don't know. And he was like, I just want you to have something. And in my mind, I'm like, the reason why he feels that way is because he doesn't know my goals. He doesn't really know what I want to do. I've been kind of keeping it close to my heart because of the backlash that I used to get from sharing my goals and dreams. Going back to what I said, not knowing what I want, I sat there and looked at the school that we were talking about. I did some extensive research for about a couple hours, and I knew exactly what major I wanted. I knew exactly what minor I wanted, and I knew that this school is great because if I want to move anywhere, my credits can come with me. So I basically know what I want, and I've technically made the decision that day that I was like, yeah, I'll go back to school. But my dad knows nothing about that. Not because I'm afraid to tell him, not because he would give me a negative reaction. I'm just so used to getting a negative reaction to my dreams and to my goals to where I just keep them close to my chest. And then also, like, seeking validation from other people. I think because people have shared their fears and limiting beliefs onto me, I kind of have sought their validation, because like I said, these were peers, these were older relatives, these were people that I looked up to, these were people that I thought knew the way, you know what I mean? So I would try to seek validation from them, and God showed me quickly that I don't need to be seeking validation from anyone but Him. And I need to be, and that's enough. The Lord that made everything, the Lord that made you, watching this video. He knew you were gonna watch this video. The Lord that made me, he knew I was gonna remake this video. Like, believes in me and has given me a dream and has given me goals and a plan on what to do and how to get to X, Y, and Z. Guys, some of these visions are so real to me that I can taste them. It's like they're right. It's like they're so close to my grasp. Like, that's how vivid these dreams are to me. And so if God is giving me these visions and giving me these dreams and these goals and giving me a set plan, if he has faith in me, why don't I have faith in myself? If he has faith in me, that's it. That's the only person that needs to have faith in me, is God. You know, if other people have faith in me, that's great. That's just the sprinkles. But the actual ice cream is God and his faith in me. That should be my only validation. So if God believes in me, that's the only thing that should matter. And that hasn't been enough for me. But I need to start making it enough for me, you know? So I just want to say that back to the normal, like, adulthood. Like I said, I've been trying to do the normal adulthood for years, and for a good couple years now, and it just hasn't worked. I've always felt like the oddball out from a certain amount of time, even in Christian settings, which really disappoints me. I just always felt like the oddball out. And it's like, well, maybe you're not meant to go down these paths. That's why you're the oddball out. That's why you feel this way. That's why things don't ever work out, because you're not meant to. You're meant to go on this path, and you're going on that path. Why are you going on that path? And I said this in a previous Promised Land video, but if I'm gonna march to the beat of my own drum, I might as well do it with no shame. I might as well do it with no shame. I might as well just do it and have fun and just dance to the beat. Sounds like a song. Anyways, so what does that mean now? What are we gonna do now? Well, like I said already, I know I'm going back to school. I'll be going back to school probably in August or September. I just decided late June, early July that I will be going back to school. So that's why I'm kind of giving myself September, because might need to take a minute to get finances together. I'm going to let God's faith in me be enough, because it is enough. That's all I need. And I'm gonna start taking my content seriously. I don't know if you guys have seen, but you know, there's a lot of different stuff happening with this channel. I am making things a lot better. I'm trying to make videos faster. I'm trying to make videos more professional. Like, I'm trying to, I don't know why I'm saying trying. I'm doing that. I'm making videos more professional. Like, I am making my intros better. I am making my hooks more engaging. I'm making videos just more fun, because I want this to be my livelihood. I want to take this seriously, and I'm doing the same thing with my music as well. I want to take this seriously because this is something I love to do. This is something I want to give my all to. So I'm gonna do that. That's it. I think that's all I need to say, and I did that all in 16 minutes, and I'm very happy about that. So the video actually might be shorter, but you guys get it. If you feel this way too, if you have been woken up and it's like, you know, I know I'm gonna take the things that I love seriously, because this is all I want to do. This is all what makes my heart sing. This is what's going to get me to my dream life. We can do it together. It doesn't have to be music. It doesn't have to be content creation. It could be, if your dream is to become an accountant, let's do it together. You know, let's encourage each other. You know, if your dream is to be a background dancer for a big artist, first of all, DM me. And second of all, I'm so serious. But also, let's do it together, you know? Love you guys so much. And I'll talk to you. This should be posting on Monday, so I'll be talking to you guys next Thursday. Love you so much. Bye.